one night a year there is carnage inside a cell. Tonight we're here to cover it. Come on with us.
You're tuning in to the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
That headbangy song.
Oh, we got lights.
Hello and welcome to the WWE Hell in a Cell after show here at the AFTERBUZZ TV studios. We are gonna break it down for you. I'm your host, Steve Kaufmann. You can find me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. We are full strength. Starting to my far left, our very special guest representing the blue brand, Mr. Tom Connolly.
Hello, representing the best brand. So.
The breast brand.
Yeah, the best brand. The best brand.
Look at that. And to his right and or left, he is the encyclopedia of sports entertainment. He is Mr. George Hermoza and Yokozuna.
Oh yeah, Hasbro Yokozuna. Yeah, what's up? How are you? How's everyone?
Good.
Good. What's your shirt saying?
Bad guy.
Razor Ramon. Come on, you gotta say the bad guy.
The bad guy.
Ramon. Yeah.
And to my immediate left, you can see her on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, among many other things. She's Denise Salcedo.
And I ate way too much candy before this, so I don't know. I'm just going to be smiling the entire time.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
I think, how are we feeling about the show? I was trying to make a segue about how in the improv world I was taught that jokes versus like proper scene work were candy, and I was trying to segue into like this show being like stunts, if you will, and how that's kind of the equivalent to candy. And it
You
was
lost
all,
me.
Exactly. It was.
You're saying too much, dude.
How'd you go from candy to stunts? I was like, what? I don't get it.
Whatever.
A simple "How will you guys think of the show?" would have been enough.
But I'm trying to take it to the next level. I think everyone will appreciate that. How are we feeling about the show?
Who wants to go first?
I don't know. Like, I think there was some stuff where I was like, not scratching my head, but I was like, it went from like an okay, like above average show to like, okay, well this really had me like wanting to watch SmackDown like right now. Like it couldn't be SmackDown enough. Like I'm looking forward to SmackDown so much right now, and obviously we'll talk about why throughout the episode of AFTERBUZZ TV Hell in a Cell after show.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you completely. After I left, I was like, man, I really want to see SmackDown now. Like I want to see the fallout of all the things that happened tonight. I thought it was. I didn't know if it was going to be that good of a show, but it was better than I thought it was going to be. I was like, okay, especially the ending. So.
Yeah. I feel like this was kind of like the opener was great, and then the ending was great, and then everything in the middle was pretty decent, you know? I enjoyed the pay-per-view. I did like No Mercy a lot better than this pay-per-view if I had to compare the both, had to compare them. But, I mean, there was some fun stuff on today's show. Like, it wasn't like anything like, oh, I was so bored or anything like that.
I would say this show over-delivered, because I think I don't know, there's something about the rut SmackDown's been in since not the initial brand split, but the re-split, if you will, or the superstar shakeup, that they've had a bit of growing pains, and Jinder Mahal became their champion. Like, they've definitely had, it's not been bad by any stretch of the imagination, but there's been a lot of different.
Yes.
Different isn't always good, and there's a lot of good on this card, but there's
I think it was
also a lot
mostly
of
because
different.
between July and, let's say, April, SmackDown just consistently kept knocking it out of the park.
Yes.
And then so from April to, like, let's say now, it's like, oh, that was a double. You know,
Yeah,
that was kind of like a,
still
inside
batting.
the ballpark home run. And it was still good, but not like a grand slam like they were doing before. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was a breath of fresh air. Of course, I've said it before where I'm not really a big fan of these, like, theme pay-per-views because I feel like it's like lazy booking just because it's like, oh, we're gonna have to have a Hell in a Cell so we know what we can do, as opposed to let's write intelligently and therefore we can book the match into a Hell in a Cell, not let the pay-per-view book the match, if you know what I mean.
I agree.
Totally agree.
But I also think from a ticket sales standpoint, it's a lot easier to sell me Hell in a Cell. It's a lot easier to sell Detroit Hell in a Cell 5 months in advance, 3 months in advance, however long they actually like book the arena, and that's part of it. Like, it's very helpful to them. It's very, very helpful to in other markets when they need to sell. I think we've had this discussion before. We should jump right into the pre-show match. We had Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin against the Hype Bros, Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder in a tag team match. They went 10 minutes 20 seconds. pretty much as we expect. These guys, all these guys can go. We were looking for that one of them to turn on the other, right? Like we were looking for one team to break up at the end of this match. Like that's what we were teasing.
Well, I think they're still teasing it with the Hype Bros. Like they
Yeah,
still
like-
have not. They're since Riders come back, they haven't won a match. So, like, I'm hoping they're turning Ryder and not Mojo, and I don't think they're gonna turn both of them into a heel tag team. But maybe I don't know. Maybe this SmackDown's been really weird of like where people are going anymore. So I don't know what they're really gonna do with these.
SmackDown
guys.
could use a heel tag team though,
Yeah.
because other than Usos, yeah.
Ascension. Are they still bad guys?
I think they're a joke tag team at this point.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean that in a bad thing because
Are they jokier
Breeze-
than they were
And
before?
from what we saw
Breeze
tonight,
Angle-
I don't know.
Breeze Angle were a joke tag team and they're over. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a joke tag team if if it works.
Yeah, but I don't think the Ascension being a joke tag team works as the joke tag team.
I think they should be the Surfer Dudes, but that's just
Well,
me.
I know, yeah, that would work for them.
I think they should just literally be the Surfer Dudes that get over. Gable Benjamin over. Once again, another team of two guys who should be singles wrestlers, and we're waiting on one person to turn on the other. It seems too early with them.
I'm not waiting on them to turn. I'm more so the Hype Bros. I didn't think about Gable and Benjamin, one of them turning on the other. It's not as flow. It's not easily, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it just doesn't fit as well as Gable and Jordan or Benjamin and Haas. I think it just, I just don't think it doesn't click.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to turn on each other. I just don't think it doesn't click. And maybe it's on purpose because I know the first time they teamed, they kind of had like a couple miscues, but I feel like that was intentional.
Like with when they're trying to do the finish.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of weird. Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was just like.
But I
was
feel like
happening, or-
like we don't see them on TV enough to really know exactly what they're trying to do with them, whether it's turning or not. I can't just commit to one thing because we just don't see them on TV that much. We had them on TV that one time. We see them on now. It's like.
You
Okay.
see them on the pre-show.
Well, the
Yeah.
Hype Bros also weren't even matching tights tonight. So, if you want to continue the story, I think we all definitely know there's going to be a breakup coming soon. I personally am a little bummed because I kind of like them, together because it's just so funny. They're bros that are hyped, and I like that.
Yeah. I think there's nothing else to talk about other than the percents. 91.3 correctly thought it would be Gable and Benjamin. 1.9 any type of kerfuffle. 6.8 the Hype Bros. Y'all nailed it. 91.3. Like there's not.
But I think they're going to be the next guys to go after the Usos though?
I
Because who else is going to do it? Because I don't think it's going to be Brazongo because they have a new case, so they're going to be.
But if
doing
we're
whatever.
talking, you're talking teams that aren't the New Day to go after the Usos.
I think that's done now. After this, like,
Starcade begs to differ.
well, yeah, but that's not on.
That's a house show, so it doesn't count.
I'm not. I don't have it on good authority, but I have it on decent authority that Starcade will be on the network.
Says who? It's like in a month.
That's like right near
I wanna know the
Survivor
authority.
Series.
Decent authority, and we'll move on. Speaking of the Usos and the tag team division, we have got the Usos facing the New Day for the tag team championship in Hell in a Cell. Kofi Kingston outside the cell. The champs inside the cell. Whew, this match was fire.
Yeah, it was. This was an awesome match. I mean, these guys, every time they've gone against each other, they've stepped it up. This one even more. Your question should have been how many kendo sticks are going to be used in this pay per view because nobody would have guessed like 30
Who would
in
have
one
guessed
match.
two? Like,
Yeah.
There would have had to been some leading question to if there would have been kendo sticks at all.
Yeah. So they got the crap beat out of everyone in that match. Like, they're gonna be hurting for days after this. Kofi being like strapped up over the ring post, and then at the end when they were just hitting him, and he was just kind of like,
Oh man.
flexing. Like, oh man, Kofi's body, Xavier, his body is gonna be so messed up now. But I thought it was an awesome match, and I'm kind of glad the Usos won.
Me too. It gives us somewhere to go. Because I think in an older, less wiser version of the New Day, they'd hold the titles forever, and just everyone would come up and lose, come up and lose, come up and lose, feed them another monster, feed them another monster. Like, they'd kind of treat them like a John Cena or like a territorial face. The New Day's a different kind of team that can work in the ring and can make the New Day look like $1 million. They've elevated the New Day in the past 12 months. that I think it's fun that they're exchanging the titles and they're building value to the titles.
I think the cool thing about this is that obviously, you know, this isn't the first time we see them go at it. And each and every single time we have nothing but amazing stuff to say about them. And they know this going into it. They're like, we have to step it up this next level. And when they came in, you know, it started right off the bat. They brought in the weapons. We started seeing all these musical instruments that I had no idea existed underneath the ring. But then I love the part that you mentioned that, you know, when they had Xavier Woods, they had him in the what do you call it? Like tied to the turnbuckles.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was like they were playing piñata with him. I was like, oh my god, like there should be some candy coming out of him. Anyways, but it was fun. The crowd was really into it. And then within minutes, people were already chanting, "This is awesome!" And I think that because this match was so good, I feel like already our expectations for the rest of the pay-per-view were like, oh man, like this needs to follow because. But then again, if we know this, their matches are always good. So, but. Honestly, there is nothing bad that I can say about this. I had a great time watching it, and I think it's the perfect way to start off the show.
Yeah, I don't think, other than go move by move, I think we could say this match was fine. Like this match was great. We knew this match would be great heading in. This match started the show to let us know, hey, the whole card's going to be great. This is the pace we're setting. We're going to start in a cage. We're going to start in the cell. We're going to end in the cell. Predictions wise, however. Pretty much coin flip. 41-7 Usos, 57-3 The New Day, 1% some type of no contest.
1% think that it was going to be a no contest.
Yeah, it's Hell in a Cell.
I mean, Hell in a Cell can end.
This match was brutal. Like, how often does Hell in a Cell end in like a no contest though?
I mean, Mick Foley set that bar pretty high. If there was ever a time for a Hell in a Cell to end in a no contest, it would have been the Mick Foley match, the second one ever. But he made sure that didn't happen.
This match is brutal though.
But like
it was like, oh my god, like so hard to watch at times where it's like these guys are literally beating the crap out of each other. I mean, it made for great. Like it's one of those where it's like, you know, I'm sure like other wrestlers have this too, where they have like a pact where like, yo, we know it's supposed to be stage or fake, but yo, let's just beat the crap out of each other.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's best for the business. Like we need especially since the whole no blood thing. It's like they have to kind of compensate that with something else and. I mean, this compensated way overcompensated for the lack of, or let's say PG guidelines that they have to do now. You know,
definitely.
But with that rule though, I also think with a Hell in a Cell, if there's a little blood, it's not gonna hurt anything because then you have Jimmy or Jay throwing a chair. At Xavier Woods to hit him in the face. Like we don't really need him throwing a chair and hitting him in the face. Like
although it was pretty awesome to see though.
It was awesome, but I would be like, man, you're really gonna throw a chair at me? Like is it gonna be like the flat side hitting me? I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it. Like
there's a lot of variables in throwing a chair at me. It's gonna hit me in the mouth,
yeah.
the face, the chest, the balls. What? Oh.
Yeah, and the thing that I think is awesome about the New Day now, is that when they were on Raw, it was a lot of fun. Like they were, you know, with the popsicles and all that kind of stuff, like having a good time. And now that they've moved over to SmackDown and had this feud with the Usos, it's like now they're like, it's, you know, more gritty and like, you know, tougher New Day that we've seen, which I think is good because there's always those feuds where it's like Triple H, Mankind, or Mick Foley, where it's like Triple H needed to get to that like darker side to become who he was later, kind of thing. And I think that's what they're doing with this, with the Usos and the New Day. So I think it's an awesome way to
especially the
wrap it
Usos.
up.
And especially after watching Talking Smack, we're like, yo, everybody's saying that we're all this, we're all that. We've been this way for like ever. Like, you know, it kind of like throwing a dig at like management saying like we didn't change. You know, we've always been this good. I don't know what you guys were thinking, but anything Usos related right now is just gold.
You know, I kind of feel like in this match, basically, they were having so much fun in the cell that you started seeing, like, I feel like that's the reason why the chair was thrown. We saw some other wacky stuff happen that's you can just tell that they were having fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
And then even when they cornered Jay with the kendos in the corner, I was like, wow, that is so, like, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, he legit looks like he's, like, ugh, you know? So.
Yeah. How did everyone spend their Rusev day? What did you do? Did you get the day off? I get the day off for Rusev Day.
I didn't get the day off. I had to work.
You had to work Rusev
Maybe
Day?
next year it'll be.
What kind of heathens do you work for that can work on Rusev
I
Day?
think there's going to be a lot more Rusev days, and it's not going to just be once a year. I just have a feeling.
I mean, every day is Rusev Day if you do it right. This match was fun. Randy Orton versus Rusev, singles match, 11 minutes 40 seconds. They told a story. These guys know each other. It's to a point where we can't blame Randy Orton anymore. Or we can start to kind of blame Randy Orton. Like and it's nothing new. Like he seems to only be so interested, and they seem to be, and they seem to be only so interested in giving us something with him.
Yeah.
Like it's a Randy Orton match.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. That's why I was like, I don't know. Like before that popped up there, I was like, oh yeah, they did fight each other. Like I didn't remember this match. That's how I felt. I mean, and I don't understand the whole Orton winning again. Like what are they doing with Rusev? I don't understand this. Before he was handsome Rusev, which was a fun gimmick with Lana. Now he's on his own. He can't win a match. Like, it's just, I don't get what they're doing with this guy.
And he's the guy that, I don't think I've met one person that says, oh, I don't like Rusev. No, everybody likes Rusev because he's just so good. He has something. He has charisma. He has all the stuff that just makes you like him and makes you want to see him do more in the company, which is why, having Orton win this match was kind of upsetting for some people, for myself too. I was like, okay, well, we would definitely want to see Rusev instead. But I do like, obviously, the story that they told because first, they had Orton beat him at SummerSlam and then finally Rusev at SmackDown, and now Randy Orton again, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I guess.
I've pitched this theory a long time on many of these podcasts, so I'll give the very abridged version. They see Rusev as the Big Show, as Umaga, as Bobby Lashley's not a great example, but like they see him as a big man, a big monster, like a dragon to be slayed that can constantly cycle back to get his heat to be as big as he once was. In their mind, they think us liking him is the equivalent to how much we liked him when he rode a tank into WrestleMania and lost to John Cena. Because they're like, oh, it's working well. He cycles back to be big enough to lose to Randy Orton, and then he strings together some wins, and then he cycles back to lose to Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, I don't think he had.
I know, but like that's what'll happen is in the next 5 weeks he might just string along some wins if they.
He won't. Jack Swagger's not there for him to beat every week.
But they'll find people for him to beat, and for like
Mike Kanellis. I mean,
but like I
agree.
that they should be doing more with him, and he should be a mold breaker in that sense. That he could be a red hot baby face.
Yes, why? Like,
he should be a white hot.
It?
He should be a white hot baby face that's getting fed monsters.
Like his whole gimmick should be that he is going for the American dream. Like he moved here. Like if you ever see his like Instagram or anything like that, it's him like on a farm, like they with like overalls and all this kind of stuff. Like I mean, he doesn't have to be like corny like that, but he could just be like, I came here to to pursue the American dream just because I'm that's the easy gimmick to play.
Also, that's a perspective that could easily be heel. The face version of that perspective is, oh my god, I love you guys for loving me, and we're gonna do this. The heel version of that perspective is, screw you guys.
Yeah, but we have
you
that
don't
too.
believe in
We
me.
always have that
know.
though. That's his whole gimmick now, and it's been for however many years he's been up here, like 4 or 5 years. So I thought when he came back, they were gonna bring him back as a face to go against Jinder, and to be like almost like that hero. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, real quick, this was also a bit of a coin flip. They're telling us to kind of speed it along a little. This was also a coin flip, 46-6 Orton, 53-4 Rusev. Bit of a coin flip, went with Randy Orton. I could see it going either way. I think we're all a little disappointed that it was Randy Orton, and if Randy Orton were the heel, we would be okay with that, but he wasn't. Next up, we got Baron Corbin, AJ Styles, Ty Dillinger, triple threat match for the United States Championship. Quick note about this match for the predictions. They announced this match pretty soon today, like on the pre-show. So all the data I had was based on Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles. I had to cut the whole match completely from the form. So whoever I declare as the winner for the AfterBuzz TV Predictions Championship will not be including this match. This match, however, was a lot of fun.
I'm glad they added Ty to this because I felt like it added a different dimension to it, and also the fact that AJ Styles didn't get pinned, but he lost his title. It's gonna continue the feud. But also, what I thought about this is that AJ did a lot of crazy bumps where he made Baron look like a monster, and I think that this match kind of brought Baron back into somewhat of a more respectable level than what we've been seeing, because everybody was making fun of him since he failed the cash-in with the Money in the Bank, and some people were even chanting that today during the match, and it's like I could only imagine that being Baron Corbin, he's like, dude, this sucks,
Yeah.
So obviously, I think that this match was good for him to kind of bring him back to, like I said, a more appreciated level with the fans.
Yeah, or although if you heard him on Talking Smack, he turned that around and was just like, there are a bunch of people who were probably sitting in their mom's basement who thought I wasted money in the bank and I'm wasting opportunities and I never beat Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. He didn't say that. That's me telling you you never beat Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. Like all this stuff, and they're just keyboard warriors. They hide behind the keyboard, and I thought that was a lot of fun that they incorporated a lot of him blocking people on Twitter into at least the Talking Smack that's just quietly back. Can we talk about this for a second?
Just after pay-per-views, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, okay. They made a big deal about canceling it, and now it's back.
Well,
at
you
least.
said it was just gonna be pay-per-views. That's why you see Raw talking Smack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. After pay-per-views.
You can go, George.
Yeah.
You can go about this match.
Yeah. It was good. Good match. It was okay.
That's it?
I think you queued him in early. You wasn't ready for that.
Honestly, like it's one of those. I mean, it was good. Like obviously the participants were great. It was okay. It was okay. Like I've seen better triple threat matches.
I thought it was fun though. Like it was a good triple threat match for just them being like, "Hey, we're having this match now."
Like when people say like considering the participants, when people say, "Yo man, what was the top 20 matches of 2017?" I don't think this is gonna be one of them.
No, yeah. But I think they did a lot of good like combinations of things though, where it was something where like Dillinger was in the middle of the ring and like it was like a kick and then
When he did the Pele cake and then he
Yeah.
landed on top
yeah.
of Corbin, that was funny.
And there was like stuff they did before that, so yeah, I thought it was fun. I mean,
And I like they're giving Dillinger a chance as well. I mean, we haven't really
Yeah.
seen him on pay-per-view. I think we just saw him like on a few pre-show matches. Sometimes he's not even there for weeks. So I like they're at least trying to give him something.
And
I
he's a
mean,
good worker, and he has great chemistry with AJ. So I think that, yeah, like I said, it was kind of refreshing to see him. And I was like, okay, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna root for you.
and I'm kind of fine with Corbin winning.
I'm actually really okay with it.
But once I saw him on Talking Smack, I was like, okay, you're good.
Okay.
I'm fine with you having the belt now.
Spit that fire on the microphone forever,
Yeah.
and we'll hate you, and that's what we're
Yes.
supposed to do. This match went 19 minutes 20 seconds. The data I'm showing now is 23-3 Baron Corbin, 73-8 AJ Styles, but that was based on the question being those two together. So it's flawed data. Who knows?
And that kick when he kicked AJ out of the ring.
Yeah.
At the end, man, that was nasty.
Moving on to the Women's Championship match, we've got Charlotte Flair versus Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair, her second Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I would point that out because in the first Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, she was in the Hell in a Cell that main evented the evening. Not a demotion by any stretch. It's just a cool thing to mention.
You know, for this match, it's funny because when Natalya won the title, I thought, like, okay, she's going to be one of those quick champions where she has it for like a week or so, and then next thing you know, she loses it or whatever. So I've always I've liked Natalya, but I was never like a crazy fan for her. And then, but after today, I like what they're doing with her. I like the fact that she got herself disqualified, and I thought that added like a really nice dimension to her, where it's kind of like, okay, you know what? I'm seeing you go a little bit further with this, and I like the fact that they're actually having her keep the belt for a longer period of time and seeing her do some new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I said on SmackDown this week, I was like, Charlotte's winning. I was like, they want that shot of Ric Flair coming out and handing her the belt and all that kind of stuff. That's what I thought they were going for. But
Do you want to know where that would be perfect?
Survivor Series,
Starrcade. I'm sticking to this, guys. Starrcade is going to be on the WWE Network. You heard it here first.
Okay.
I cannot
We'll see.
reveal my sources because they don't exist. But I think her Charlotte Flair winning the Women's Championship at Starrcade would actually be a huge moment. It would be a huge moment, and that's what they see. And
I'd rather Natalya keep it for a little while longer. Like I like her being like. First, I gotta say, Natalya. Like I feel like I'm with you on Natalya. It's like she's kind of good at playing a wrestler. Like sometimes the way she talks, it's just so robotic, and you're like, you've been doing this for a long time, and you're good at it. But I wish you could, I don't know, emote more and that kind of stuff. And there's been times when she's done it, and I liked how she did get herself disqualified. So
Are you talking in the ring or on the microphone?
Both.
Well, because on the microphone, I think she's her most unique when she's talking about cats.
Yeah,
And
when I feel like they give her and go, here's what you're saying tonight, and she reads it word for word because she is a good employee and that's what she wants. But it's not like just put some more emotion into stuff and it'll come off better than as you being a heel. It just feels like I feel like you're a good person that is trying to play a bad guy.
Some don't work best when handed a written promo, and WWE, we talk about it a lot. isn't great at finding that and being like, she'd probably be better if we just told her what she has to say and not write it down per se, as much as like, this is what you have to put over.
I kind of see what Tom's saying, because it's like with Natalya, when you think of, all right, she's the last or maybe the only woman to graduate from the dungeon from the Hart family. Like I think a lot of us kind of automatically think, oh man, she's great, she's fantastic, without even really seeing her work. Like I think we're just gonna kind of like similar. Like I think a lot of people thought that about. Totally sidetracking right now. A lot of people thought about like Chelsea from Tough Enough.
Yep.
A lot of people was like, oh man, she's so great. How come they don't wrestle? Because she trained with Lance Storm. It's like, really, she's not really that good at that time. I haven't really seen her wrestle that much right now. But I don't know. I just kind of see the same thing with Natty. It's like I think we kind of put her on this pedestal of like just being so great because of her lineage. It's like, yes, she's really really good, but like. I wouldn't put her in the top 10 females of all time. And I kind of like, even in some cases with Charlotte, where it's like, she's really good, and she's only really been in the business for like 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like even right now, where Charlotte's at, I feel like some ladies, Alexa Bliss, are kind of eclipsing her as far as like, like pecking order, as far as like how good women are. Where I think like Charlotte Flair has kind of like been coasting for the last 2 years, and it's like, girl, you need to kind of like step it up a little bit. I kind of haven't really been impressed by Charlotte in the last 6 months.
I can't argue with the point that it feels like Charlotte Flair's coasting, although we only see what we're shown.
I feel Natty's stepped it up in the last 2-3 months.
Natty stepped it up every time she's ever gotten in the ring with Charlotte. Like, I think Charlotte's been Natty's best opponent by far.
Yes, for sure.
And like has brought a fire out of both sides.
But when you hear, like, I feel like when you hear that all the stuff Natalya, like where she's from and her family, you think she's going to be Charlotte.
That's
you know what I mean? You're like, oh my god, she's going to be the best women wrestler ever. Like her whole family wrestles. Like Charlotte's like her dad wrestles.
That's like when people talk about Paige. What's your favorite Paige match? You know what I mean?
Bad.
There's you can name like more better women's matches than like a Paige match. Not knocking Paige, she's great, but like that same people talk about Paige the same way they talk about Natty and Charlotte. It's like I don't know. I feel like people are putting them on a pedestal too high. It's like let them work and just kind of eliminate the lineage from it, and I guarantee you probably appreciate them as better workers.
Speaking of the pedestal, 66% thought it would be Charlotte Flair. 1.9, some type of kerfuffle. 32% thought it would be Natalya. Those 66 were right because the question wasn't who would be champion at the end of the night. Charlotte Flair did win this match. I don't know. I think if Starrcade is on the WWE Network, this would be the main event. And I will leave it at that. We're moving on to what on a different night would be the main event of the evening, but here it's 6th on the card. It's Jinder Mahal and Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. I'm going to cough over here. You guys can talk about the match briefly.
I think this match was honestly my least favorite on the card. As much as I love Shinsuke, I was kind of just like, oh, well, he's facing Jinder. And obviously no hate on Jinder particularly, but I just knew it was just going to be like, okay, let's just give Jinder a somewhat decent match, have him win, retain the title, blah, blah. I wasn't expecting anything from this. I knew Jinder was going to win.
I've seen this movie.
And yeah, kind of like that. And I know everyone was arguing like, oh, this match should have been in a Hell in a Cell because the Singh brothers are always interviewing, which they did today, but I think that the reason why they didn't was because of he already had a Punjabi prison match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see why people's argument about having that match in a Hell in a Cell should have been. But this match was just there.
Yeah. I've seen this movie. It wasn't a bad movie. It was B plus movie.
I don't know if he was in B or B+.
It's the same movie, but it's the same movie. It's the same match.
Every month? Yes.
The Singh brothers get involved. Jinder Mahal, Jinder avoids a Kinshasa and wins the match. I don't know. It's frustrating.
Yes, yeah. To watch, it's very frustrating because to me, if you never watched NXT and now you're watching Nakamura, you go, that guy's a loser.
Yep.
Like, to me, it's like, what are you doing to this guy? The hottest wrestler from Japan, you get him over here, you finally get him on the main roster. Like, don't even give him title shots if you're gonna let him lose. It's a waste of time. You're killing this guy.
Or even if the one time this happened, not tonight, the one time he became #1 contender by beating John Cena, he moves on to face Jinder Mahal, he loses, he does something else.
Yeah.
And you find another opponent for Jinder Mahal.
Yeah. Or you somehow
that's how you protect Shinsuke
and you do
Nakamura.
it by screwing him out of a title shot. Like if it was a number one contenders match, he doesn't win the next one because somebody interferes, and that's where he goes
AJ
after.
Styles.
This
A broom. It's Shinsuke Nakamura.
This show's gonna get fun. I don't think you can complain because you wanted Shinsuke to be the number one contender when I was saying it should be John Cena.
I agree.
And I knew this was going to happen, so I don't think anybody can complain. I don't know how you felt, but like I don't think anybody can complain about wanting Shinsuke in this spot because I knew this was going to happen. This should be John Cena's spot right now. You know what I mean? Because everything that you're saying about Shinsuke, you're absolutely right. I just think that people are not to complain if they wanted Shinsuke to be in that number one spot.
And here's the reason for that, because just like Randy Orton and John Cena, they both had that thing where if they lose to Jinder Mahal, so what? We already have respect for both of these guys. But Shinsuke, like you said, people didn't see him in NXT, they didn't see him in Japan. Let's say just saw him right now. He needs it more than, obviously than Randy Orton or John Cena would have had it,
Yeah.
But I like this match, to be honest with you. And again, I'm not talking about personalities here. I'm just thinking it's maybe you guys are thinking maybe glass half empty. I look at it as what a big win for Jinder Mahal. I thought that Nakamura was his being Orton and Cena, and I like that pause between the Singh brothers getting eliminated and not like Shinsuke Nakamura still had an opportunity to win the match. It's not that he lost because of the Singh brothers. He still had a chance. He missed. He blew that chance. Jinder Mahal now is elevated because he beat and kind of an established Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta look at it as glass half full. Big win for Jinder Mahal. I really like the finish of this match.
I agree with you on that. That he didn't need them to really win. At least like they didn't really interfere enough to cost Nakamura the match. But to me, it's just I just don't understand the whole storytelling of Nakamura because to me now he's just another random guy on the roster. He's the next Rusev. You know what I mean?
He's another guy who lost to Jinder Mahal. Rusev's a good example of somebody who could be facing Jinder Mahal now.
Yeah.
As Shinsuke moves on to anyone else. Bobby Roode.
That's not.
That's too fresh.
Yeah.
Like that's too fresh for them. But like anything.
Okay, last final thing. Sorry, I have to say this. There are people saying that the only thing that's cool about Shinsuke is his entrance. Like, go back and think about that. Like, people are literally saying this because of what they've been seeing Shinsuke do in the business, here in WWE. And it's like, it's mind-blowing because if they only knew, we were only able to see what he can actually do and we wouldn't just be cheering for his entrance.
But also,
that's
too,
what
you
I'm
got to
trying
think
to
about
get
how
at.
long has Shinsuke been on the main roster? 6 months? Where was Steve Austin 6 months into his WWF career?
Well, yeah,
everyone can say, well, you can look at WCW. The guy was a phenomenal wrestler. It's like, dude, give it a
But he came in with such a huge buzz.
I
though.
agree.
His buzz was next level.
But that's for us. But you got to look at it as the WWE random audience who doesn't watch New Japan, who just watches Raw and SmackDown every week. Now they're the ones that we need to convince that yes, he is this great. Yes, are they dropping the ball with him? Yeah, they are. But I also think it's too soon for him to get so much so soon. To be honest.
But then also, then don't put him in that position.
I agree. I thought it should be John Cena.
Yeah.
I thought it should be John Cena at SummerSlam.
I thought it should have been. I was fine with it being Nakamura, but he should have won at SummerSlam.
I
You know what
disagree.
I mean?
But I think it should be John Cena.
Do you know who we can blame for all this?
Who?
Baron Corbin for blocking people on Twitter.
And plus, that
And
Jinder was
not-
going to win because of the India tour.
Well, yeah, I know that too,
But also, we knew it was the original plan, according to the rumors and innuendo, is that it's Nakamura. Nakamura only to then get cashed in on by Baron Corbin, but then they flipped that all up for SummerSlam. Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler. 11 minutes, 35 seconds. These guys had a fun match. They're both the same kind of face, if you will. I know Dolph Ziggler's a heel now, but when Dolph Ziggler was a face, he was the same kind of tween. I'm so bad I'm so bad I'm good, and that's what Bobby Roode's up to. Dolph Ziggler being the turnkey, the welcoming committee for any NXT champion who comes up to the main roster.
Baron Corbin and Tyler Breeze were Ziggler's first. Or their first program or Ziggler. I did not like this match. Not because of the actual... No. And again, I swear to God, nothing to do with the match, everything to do with the placement of the card. And the I know it wasn't his first match in WWE, but I don't know, I feel like they should have made a bigger deal for this match for Bobby Roode.
Like a bigger entrance too. Like he had
Just
a
in
regular
general,
entrance,
yeah.
nothing super over the top.
Yeah.
I get it. They only do 4 takeovers a year. But if Ziggler's the guy that's saying, I don't need to be flashy, Rude is going to say, I can be way flashy and way over the top and still beat you.
Here's
You
the
know?
Detroit Symphony
Yeah.
plus
something.
plus a color guard from a local high school.
But I think it was match placement. I mean, I think this could have been like maybe a third or fourth match, but just right between those two big matches, I don't know. It just kind of threw me off, to be honest.
And
with
then a
you.
bunch of tight stuff. A bunch of stuff with the tights.
Yeah, I mean,
I
whatever,
enjoyed
that's-
it, but it was fun.
I like the zigzag after the match, though.
Yeah.
You don't really see that ever anymore of somebody just going after the guy after he loses. So I like that, and I like, what we're seeing with Ziggler of, like, where's he going? I don't know. Is he going to come out to no music from now on?
I dig that.
Like-
the Andre the Giant.
Like, he just is spotlighting, he walks out. I'm fine with that. So
Just a spotlight. I'm okay with that. I think that would make a lot of sense for him. 91.3% thought it would be Bobby Roode. They thought correctly. 1% thought some type of no contest. 7.8% thought it would be Dolph Ziggler. We are on to the last match of the evening. Some would argue the main event of the evening was Nakamura and Jinder Mahal. Some would argue the main event of the evening happened first. But the last match of the evening was Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon in a Falls Count Anywhere Hell in a Cell match, although the Hell in a Cell is padlocked. Don't think about it. Don't think about it too much, folks.
what do you mean? The guy that runs the company asks you to open a lock and you tell him no?
So
You're fired.
So he gets bolt cutters that make him look like... I mean...
he was like, I can't believe I have to do this. I just... went through tables and all this other stuff, and now I have to cut open this lock myself.
They're making me cut open my own cage.
Yeah.
Like, that was... I don't know.
That was
weird. I'm pretty sure they still do Botchamania, and that's going to turn up on Botchamania. It was funny. It happened. It didn't take away from the match at all, but it was interesting. It did take a good 2 minutes for Shane McMahon to bolt cut that lock
He was
off.
tired.
He was really... As he should have been. A 39-minute match in a Hell in a Cell. They were on top of the cell twice. Or Shane was on top of the cell twice. Renee Young was saying it on Talking Smack, like how these are really hard to watch. Like this was...
I cringed so many times
Yeah.
during this match. I mean, and that's... I'm sure they were very much so reinforced, and I'm sure that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away that I cringed so many times during this match.
But it's also what they wanted was for them to be incredibly safe on top of the cell. But for every spot to happen, for us to go, this could be the spot where it just breaks. Because we've been trained as the audience through many matches
I was worried about it.
that the top of a cell breaks.
I was worried about unintentionally breaking.
Me too.
I was not worried about intentionally. I was worried about unintentionally breaking.
I was more worried about somebody hitting the back of their neck on the joist part of the actual cell.
I think Shane did when he did that like back body drop on him at first. He
like
grabbed his
he
head.
did.
Like,
He immediately
Yeah.
sold. He
Like,
immediately sold his brainstem. Where he's like, "Oh man."
yeah, I think I couldn't. And they showed the replay, but you couldn't really tell. I mean, this match was insane. This has got to go. I mean, maybe one of the craziest Hell in a Cell matches of just what happened, like inside, like that cannonball onto the table. Kevin Owens is nuts. Like he went at that full
Which would be
force.
a huge risk for a house show
Yeah,
or for a
well,
TV. Like Kevin Owens wouldn't do that on a normal
yeah, he
TV.
probably
Like
would.
yeah, well he's Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that was an awesome spot, and just them beating the crap out of each other, just like the New Day and Usos did, and then. All right, we're gonna go up to the top of the cell, and yeah, I was the same thing, cringing
God.
every time. I was like, "Oh, can you just please get down? Like, I'm fine. You don't need to jump off, or I'm fine with not having that big spot. Like, I'm okay." And like when I really thought, I was like, "Is he just gonna throw him off like Mankind Undertaker? Like, is that what's gonna happen
teased
here?"
it.
Yeah, I was like, "Damn, this is crazy." And then Kevin going through the table, Shane jumping off because he's nuts.
Well, we're missing the part that led them to the top of the cell, which was Kevin Owens looking to jump off the guardrail onto a table and deciding, no, I'm going to climb the cell.
Yeah.
He climbs the cell and only doesn't hit Shane McMahon because he hesitates twice. And that's how they wind up on the top of the cell. And I thought that was a really nice touch. That, like, even Kevin Owens was like, oh, man, what?
I, at one point, really believed, I was like, dude, is he going to do it? Because if he does it, like, this is going to be insane, you know? So while he was kind of, like, worried, I was like when he was playing that, he was, like, worried and kind of scared and thinking about it and stuff like that. I was like, oh, my God, I can't. Like, I really thought he was going to do it. And then afterwards, when they lead it to the top, and I'm going to say this word for the third time that you guys saw it, yes, I was also cringing during this moment because I was like, oh, oh my God, he's gonna do it. Oh my God. And I kind of felt like they kept trying and it wasn't happening. And there was one where Kevin Owens powerbombed Shane McMahon. I was like, oh, this is gonna do it. And you even see the crowd like go up and we're like, this is it. And then it doesn't happen. And then when they went down through the side of the Hell of the Cell, they if you notice, they were both on their tippy toes. Like at one point, Shane even kind of slipped, and I was like, "Oh man!" Like I didn't really realize how there isn't very much space for your shoe to be really planted, and they're throwing punches at each other. And when Kevin Owens fell, I didn't see it coming. It kind of happened as a shock to me, even though it's obvious.
Yeah.
And but yeah, when Shane did his jump, I was like, classic Shane, obviously. And Sami Zayn coming out, kind of unexpected, but fun. And can I just say, the timing that he had to do that in was insane. Because when you watch the replay, like, he really has to be looking so that there's enough to where Shane, while he jumps, he still sees Owens on the table, but enough for him to be able to pull him out on time. I was just like, that was on point.
Yeah, and I don't know how they got him out there to be, like, you didn't really know who it was at first because they had that really wide angle.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that somebody, or is that somebody that works? Like,
because the first time he fell, I was like, I thought he just moved.
Yeah.
I noticed immediately on the first shot that, like, wait, somebody's grabbing Kevin Owens. And my initial thought, I think, and it's what they wanted us to think, is, did Kevin Owens, like, was there a screw up where Kevin Owens was so beaten that somebody was like, he's not coming, not coming, and just some security guy was like, nope. I'm gonna get myself over, I guess. Like, I'm the security guy. I'm gonna be on TV but to make it Sami Zayn is really fun, really perfect.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where they go with this. Like, I think it's really cool, and they've been teasing it.
Yeah, especially
for the last couple of
on
weeks.
SmackDown with him and Shane.
Yeah,
and
I said it on SmackDown. I was like, I think Sami's turning heel. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be like that. I thought it was gonna be more of him coming down and trying to talk Kevin out of doing something.
Yeah.
And then he was going to turn around and just go after Shane McMahon. That's how I thought it was going to be.
Although this is perfect.
Yeah, because it's more like everyone's like shocked and like what, and even he looked shocked. Like, what did I just do? Why did I do this? So he wasn't like completely like super heel of like, oh, I did this because I hate you. It was more like, I was doing this to help my friend, but I don't really like him. But
Sami Zayn.
How can I do that? How can I help him?
Sami Zayn, I think, is the only person on the roster who can play the role he's now thrust into, which is the reluctant heel. Of like, Shane McMahon's not gonna like me. All the boys in the back aren't gonna like me. The fans aren't gonna like me. But I did what I did. I did what I did, and I did it to help my friend. He's my friend. Friendship is friendship, regardless of how we haven't agreed with each other for a very long time. And I think that'll be the way that he's not going to go full-blown heel so much as he'd be like, I made my choices. You can boo me all you want. You can suspend me. You can fire me. You can send me back down to NXT.
I think that part of this, too, because earlier, in his promo, he was saying, like, oh, you guys didn't think about my family, So I think that this, like, Sami Zayn coming in and saving him is kind of giving way as to, pre-WWE days, obviously, they know each other's families and stuff like that. So he's kind of like the closest guy to him in the company, I guess you can say. Yeah. So I like how that kind of also played into it. So I thought that was cool. But for me, I love Sami Zayn. But lately, in the past few months, we haven't seen him really do anything extraordinary. He hasn't been a part of a great program. And so now seeing him come into this, it's like, okay, I am so excited for you. And I hope that we can finally see something. Because when he came into the company, I was so excited. So now I actually want to see something come of it.
Especially now, it's like we're kind of, Kevin Owens is kind of a made man now after this whole last month of Vince and Shane and everybody. And, it's kind of like Jinder and the Singh brothers. Like, Singh brothers are like the luckiest people. You go from not being good enough on 205 Live to being on TV every week with the WWE champion. It's kind of like association kind of thing. So now you have Sami Zayn, where now he's thrusted into that whole Kevin Owens thing where, like, oh my God, now they're friends again, and what's going to happen? Like, so many questions that I have. Are they going to team? Oh my God, if they're going to team, it's going to be awesome. Like, I want to see if they can miss the Usos. Although my dream match now is Zayn and Owens against Ambrose and Rollins. But, and also too, like, I'm curious, like, okay, so Shane obviously missed. He missed Owens. But how much less of an impact would it have been just to fall on Kevin Owens? Like, he still would have been out a good amount. Like, it's still going to hurt you a lot. I just don't see that. I don't know. Psychology-wise, it's kind of like, that's my only thing. It's like, you're still falling from really, really high. So I don't know what the point of dropping an elbow is, but
let's not get
no, but it's just
similar to Cage Door. Like, let's not get caught up in that logic.
But yeah, I
enjoy the match.
And I know I read somewhere online earlier that these two have been like faces together, as a team, but they've never been both heels. And I mean, I kind of want him to be the reluctant heel, but I also kind of want him to just go.
Well, but he can be a reluctant heel for a month and then go full blown heel.
Yeah. Like I just want him to go. Let's see what happens, and because we've never seen him like this, at least here. So it's like let's see.
I think it'd be interesting too, where somewhere down the road, they're teaming together, doing whatever thing, and then Sami Zayn. Like goes full blown heel on Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens is the face.
Exactly.
That's something we've never seen before. Kevin Owens is like the ultimate family man. Like you want to like him, but then he just gives you a reason to not. Like I kind of want to see him now. Everybody liking Kevin Owens and him not doing anything to make everyone hate him over and over again.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love to see that.
Any thoughts on him being El Generico and just working double duty?
No.
Just
they didn't let Cody Rhodes do it, so no, they're not letting him do it.
And first off, we all know that El Generico is in some orphanage in like Africa or something. So I don't know why I even bring him up. To be honest with you.
Sorry. So 75.7% thought it would be
Who are the
Kevin
1.9?
Owens.
Are they the same 1.9 from the first match?
Must be.
Probably.
Jesus.
Well, that foot on the rope,
And then 24.5 thought it would be Shane McMahon. Although to be fair, those 1.9%, I think we're assuming the match would end in some type of the match would not go as planned. Because that's what would cause a no contest. If the match literally didn't go as planned, somebody got hurt and they were like, it's over.
I think for a match like this, like there's so much preparation that like I don't want. Obviously, there's a lot room to something go wrong, but I also think that they are very careful and like there's more probability for something to go right than it is wrong.
Yeah, but also when the medics that they have. Like, can they just get some real medics to do that stuff? Because the way they were trying to put that neck brace on Shane McMahon was way weird. And you're like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. They got to have medics backstage that can really just go out there and be like, hey, just pretend like he's really hurt. Or check on him.
Or can you coach our $100 a night locals?
Yes.
To just, like, especially when you're flatboarding somebody, can you just explain to them, like, well, if somebody fell and broke their neck, you have to assume their entire body is broken. So you have to, like, delicately put them on a flatboard. Yeah. And get them in a place so a doctor can actually scan it and see
their head.
There's always that one person who's kind of just hanging back. They're not really doing anything, and you're like, you're ruining it for me. Like you should be more like worried right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I love the fact that Sammy made them, move them out of the way, and we're like, no, like had Kevin cover. Yeah.
And just one more thing, like just I think it really helped as a viewer. The announcers totally just did an amazing job putting that over. Like just the whole oh my god, like what just I don't know, I thought they were especially on that specific moment, I thought they were all on their A game. I thought it was amazing the way they put it over. And the time too, it wasn't just pinfall ending. It was they really emphasized the fact that it was 5 minutes after the pinfall that the pay-per-view ended.
So how do we feel about this? How do we feel moving forward? I'm really excited to see SmackDown, which is funny because I was hitting a lump. I was hitting a rut where I wasn't excited to watch SmackDown every week, which if you had told me that 12 months ago, it would have been insane. SmackDown was the hottest show on TV.
Yeah. I mean, I think SmackDown just got a good shot into it with this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to them now to, give us a good story. Yeah. But, I mean, if it involves Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I'm going to tune in to see what happens. So those two are the guys that are going to push SmackDown forward. And even on Talking Smack, AJ was like, oh, Shane needs help. I wouldn't mind beating up Kevin Owens again. So it's you can add him into it too, and it's going to be awesome. So.
I know one more thing because I know we're going to wrap up very, very soon, hopefully in an hour. I thought, dude, I love Breezango. I think they're so Breezango. Great. They're just so great.
We only had time to talk about the matches tonight, but the Breezango
that's a Raven
great,
Tooth Fairy.
Dude, that's a Raven. That's a Raven thing was that's just everything that they do is just so funny.
Allergic to sleeve.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one last thing before we all get out of here is the AfterBuzz TV Predictions Championship. We're in the middle of a pretty hotly contested season that runs WrestleMania to WrestleMania, and after a tiebreaker with Benjamin Jeske, former champion, your champion is Salamonstrosity. At Salamonstrosity, he is the champion. That tweet's going out at 11:30 p.m. He'll get points. Check us out there on @ABTV PPV Champ to find out all that information. And I think it's time to go home.
Yeah.
So starting,
I'm the only person clapping. Come on.
Salamonstrosity, by the way, got 17 out of a possible 18 points. So did Benjamin Jeske. They both deserve all the things. Denise, where can the people find you on Twitter?
All right, well, they can find me on Twitter and on Instagram @_ Denise Salcedo. And if you guys want to help a poor girl out who's trying to get to 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, you guys can also follow me on YouTube, Denise Salcedo, on the search bar.
I'm just trying to get to one YouTube subscriber. You can follow me at Hermoza, GHERMOZ on Twitter, Instagram. I even got the WWE Champions app, G Hermoza. I don't know, there's not like a social media thing, but I'm just awesome at the game. The game's really addicting. Have you ever played?
I have tried it. Yeah. It is. Yeah.
I stay away from
But yeah, G Hermoza, GHERMOZ, Twitter, Instagram, all the above.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TomTheCom, and on Tuesday for SmackDown Live.
And you guys can find me almost on Twitter exclusively at Steve Kaufmann. That's KAUFMANN. You can also visit thesoberyear.com to check out my exploits as 52 weeks sober. So I'm nowhere near there, but I'm working towards 52 weeks sober. Thank you, and good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.